Uh, Good afternoon to all, first of all, and welcome for a second Fireside chat here at the conference. Let me properly introduce myself. My name is Vernon Fernandez. I'm with AMDAC, or now known as the Malaysia Digital Economic Corporation. And we have here our distinguished speakers and panelists to share on the making of Boboiboy the movie. Now, before I proceed, I just have some house rules that I hope we can adhere to, whereby, well, first of all, the overall theme of the chat is going to be very casual. So feel free to ask questions if you want, but if there's none, we'll just keep it to right at the end of the session. Two very important will be, please put your handphones or mobile phones on silent or vibrate. And of course, how do you say this? Like I say, it's going to be casual. So we're going to be interacting among each other, coming in and out. And you can pen down your questions and we can take it right at the end of the session. Now, before I start, the MC already mentioned about the box office for Boboiboy. So let me see a show of hands of whom among our attendees here have not watched the movie Boboiboy. And some other trivia will be that, well, as you know, that before Boboiboy the movie was born, there was actually Boboiboy the TV series, which was actually launched early this year early this year. And they've already into their third season, that's correct?
Third season.
Third season, yes. And yes, when you watch on the screen, it's all very nice, but they actually had, if you're familiar with rendering, again, on that note, let me see how many of you here are animators? Show of hands. All right, good, thank you. How many of you are from the visual effects industry? Any? Show of hands. 1, 2, all right. Students? All right. Others? Okay. All right. So, for the animators especially and the visual effects guys, you know rendering is a huge task, right? Now, for that 100 minutes they actually watched on the screen, the rendering actually took 70,000 hours. Imagine that, 70,000 hours, all done at, now this is my TV commercial, all done at the facility called the Malaysia Animation Creative Content Center, better known as MAC3. Okay?
Thank you, MAC3.
Welcome. And that 100 minutes, for those of you who are familiar with frames, you know, when you work on television or movies, we are talking about seconds, frames and all that. For that 100 minutes, actually, this gentleman here actually worked on 144,000 frames. Now, that's a lot, right? That's really a lot. You convert it into ringgit, all of us will be rich. Okay. So I'll just get the ball rolling by actually introducing our speakers. I'll let them share a little bit about themselves. But what I want them to share is, how do you say, their journey from, you know, where they started to where they are now. Especially the bits that we can't find on the internet. So we'll start with Hero, please.
Okay. My name is Hiro. I'm a sound supervisor from a company called Imagica, and that's a Japanese post-production house now operating in Johor. And I had the luck to work with these gentlemen on this Boboiboy movie. Before I came over to Malaysia, I've been working in Japan. And have you watched a movie called Samurai X or Rurouni Kenshin? Okay, yeah.
Some of them getting excited, so carry on. Yeah.
Yes, that that movie I mixed and sound design with my coworkers. Before that, I started my career in the music industry. I studied my degree in UK, in Liverpool. Then I went to France to work with this British music producer as a synth programmer. And that music producer has been working with like a really big name artists like U2 and Madonna and all that. But basically, just like everyone, I started as a T-boy, fixing tennis courts, cutting the grass on the garden. I spent there about 1 year and then moved to Germany before coming back to Japan.
Thank you. Nizam will say for last. Anas.
And from my personal to start, how we started? I guess I can just tell about how we started in MMU.
All right.
I went to the same university as Nizam in MMU. That's where we first met. Even during the orientation year, in the orientation week, I remember meeting Nizam, lining up to do all the crazy orientation stuff.
Time tu muda lagi lah, berhingus lagi lah.
Muda lagi, tak ada uban lagi.
Ah.
All black hair, but we didn't have a group together, but we always kept in contact with each other, doing animation together, and then we've always talked to each other how we want to make a animation movie one day for Malaysia.
So
always.
it just hit me actually. So if you guys were into music, you guys will be a boy band lah.
Yes,
Yes, we Safwan and Yongpin.
but thankfully we can't dance, so we're doing animation instead. So we always talked about how making a movie together, making an animation company together. But then, as some of you know, that in 2006 I joined Nizam to work in Laskopat to work on the Upi Ipin series and also Gang Pengembaraan Bermula movie. So that's our first experience on how we learn more about the animation industry and how to work in animation production. But we've always talked about how we wanted to do to make our own company that we own together. So in 2009 we established Animonster and we created Animonster Studios, thinking about what kind of cartoons, what kind of show that we want to make that can travel to other markets to bring the Malaysian identity out to new territories.
All right, cool. So Nizam, I'm saving you for last because I just want to share a little bit to the audience here. Actually, Nizam and I, we go a long way.
Long way.
12 years, right?
12 years.
Well, I first met Nizam in 2004. Actually, I forgot the year, but he remembered it. That was when he did his internship at this place called CADC, or we know it as the Creative Application and Development Center, now known as MAC3. And memang muda, young people, there's a few of them, very eager, very talented. They used to show us some of their work and we were very impressed. We said, okay, these guys are definitely going to travel. Well, we were right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My boss, ex-boss.
Oh, yep.
Right? So I started in MMU, 2000 until 2005. But 2004 we had to do this internship program. So I actually applied to MDEC. The typical thing to do is to go to the studio. At that time there's a lot of good studio like MFX, Silver N, a lot of good studio. But at that time I had this idea, I want to stick together with my teammates basically. So I did my internship together with Safwan, my partner right now, and then also Usama Zaid, now the CEO of Wow Animation, Agent Ali, and also Melissa. I think a lot to do with Glue Studio. So at that time I thought that it's a good idea to stick together, to do a project together. Even during the internship process, I told CADC at that time, so what kind of project that can we work on so that we can be prepared for our final year project. So even at that time I thought that I had to have a team so that this team will maybe one day we can form a company together.
Cool. Thank you. Maybe Anas, you'd also like to share in terms of the journey of the movie itself, because we're going into that now, the journey of the movie. Maybe you can share a little bit about that?
I think Nizam has shared with this in a few talks before that when we first started out, of course we wanted to do a movie, but then we knew that it would be impossible for us to just produce a movie, get it funded, and then release it in the cinema and hope that it would do well. Of course, it's not going to work that way. So we knew that we had to make an animated series first. So when we first started to establish Animonster Studios, we were very lucky, we were very blessed because we had a lot of people contacted us and asked what is our next project because of our previous working experience. So if anyone doesn't understand what I'm going at is, it's very important for you to work for a company first before you just branch off and do your own animation company. Because even though we were working for 3 years, those 3 years helped us build us a lot of experience and knowledge, and also our networking and contacts, so that we knew the right kind of people to talk to. We had a lot of good relationship with MDEC, and we met with the Disney people, with Media Prima. So when we first started Animonster Studios, everyone was asking, everyone was helping us, advising us what kind of things that we're supposed to do. So MDEC advised us what kind of funding we should apply for. Media Prima also said, whatever it is that you guys are doing, we want to see it first, we want to discuss and want to see. So this gave us the opportunity to actually gear up and move as fast as we can to produce an animated series at that time. So we were very lucky. We were able to pitch our series at that time, Boboiboy. It was very rough, and if you remember some of the early designs, it was actually like a bunch of kindergarten kids, sort of. But it's good because we shared it with our broadcasting partners, Disney and Media Prima, and they all gave us opinions what kind of changes we had to do. So along the time that we got the feedback, we started producing it, refining it until we finally released it in 2011, Boboiboy Season 1 on TV3 and Disney Channel.
Right. I mean, Hiro, maybe you can share with us how, when you were actually approached to work on this movie, how did you feel before the movie and after the movie? And did you know that actually Boboiboy is actually a big brand even before the movie? Please share.
Sure. When I knew Boboiboy was coming to Imagica for the final mixing, I was quite excited because I actually knew Boboiboy before they even came in. Because one day I was actually watching TV, just flipping through channels, and then I just found this like really cool picture, really cool sound effects and sound designs, even on TV series. And when I kind of kept watching the TV channel. Just before into the commercial, I realized that was Boboiboy. So then, I then realized that it was really cool project. Before we actually started working on the final mix, they came down to Imagica to do the test piece, to exchange opinions between us. Even then, the picture was really good, and also the quality of the sound effects that they were preparing was also very high class. So, it was quite exciting.
I mean, for us, when we heard about Imagica, actually Hasno actually introduced us to Ken or Kenny right now, right? So, they told us, instead of we have to go to Bangkok to do the post-production, why not do it here? So I said, where can we do it? So Imagica. So when we did the research, Imagica is a big company. It's a post-production company, but the mother company in Japan is called Imagica Robot, right? Yeah, Imagica Robot. So this company is like a media company. They have their TV channel, I think. Yeah, there's cable TV
channels.
They have the biggest subtitling and dubbing in the world, and one of the studio is in PJ for this region. I think there are 5 companies over there. So this huge company, they work with Doraemon, the latest 3D, right? Stand By Me, and Kenshin. So we were quite surprised. At that time, when you see this kind of studio exists in Malaysia, and you can work with talented people, experienced people to work on your movie. So we're quite scared, to be honest, because this is the high quality people. Can we send Boboiboy the movie? Will they be impressed by the quality? And then we had a chat, after a while, even yesterday. So you were saying that you was quite surprised with the quality. So I think for us, we are happy not because of what we did. The standard is already there. So we just need to make more, to produce more. Not only stopping at Boboiboy the movie, we have to produce more. We have more IPs coming up.
Yeah, and actually, Hasno introduced us to Imagica because I was tweeting on Twitter that oh no, the mixing company in Thailand that most Malaysian companies go to, they're now charging in USD. So previously they were charging in baht. So baht, okay lah kan. Then suddenly, oh no, USD. And at that time it was still 3.2 or whatever.
So point to note here is make sure you use social media to the max.
Yes. But then Hasno was like, why don't you guys go to Imagica? I said, Imagica, aren't they in Japan? I was like, no, Johor. Okay, then meet up lah. So it was kalau tak, you guys imagine that we had to pay USD for.
I mean, another thing that is very near. We can just take a flight, 45 minutes, and we can discuss about it. We can stay overnight over there, and if you have time, you can go to Legoland. Very near.
But I really appreciate all the good words from these gentlemen. But when I received all the sound materials, for the sound data, and it was just so well organized and everything. And after we finished the movie, I had a chance to praise that to a few producers and my colleagues, like sound supervisors, and also some animation people from Japan. They just went, wow.
Just still touch on the challenges. I mean, you guys work on a TV series, and we know that a TV series, in terms of the overall quality, is lower than a movie. I think for the TV series, you're doing 720p, right?
Yeah.
And for the movie, it was 2K?
2K. Yeah.
Right. So I'm sure there are a lot of challenges, not only from the perspective of the quality of the movie, because you have a high resolution. Even for those of us who are not familiar with television and movie, there's also the thing about the audio part, whereby there's a different frame rate from television to movie. So maybe, anyone can go first, but maybe like to share some of the challenges in those areas that you face in making a movie.
Well, in audio, of course, there's a difference between 44K sample rate and a 48K sample rate for the film. But one of the biggest challenges in audio is because in TV, you know that most people are just watching it on TV or on a normal speakers. Not everyone has a home theater. Not everyone has their home theater set up with 5.1 and everything. So you can sort of sacrifice some of the quality in audio, because you know that usually kids are watching it while the mothers are cooking at the back. Like, the environment is very noisy. So it's okay to not have put in so much, audio design, panning left to right, front and back and everything like that. And then we actually, this is our secret, don't tell anyone, but we're gonna tell one. We actually don't have Foley in our series. So I know a lot of animation companies going, what, you have to put Foley in animation. We're like, it's for kids. They're not gonna go, Daddy, why they don't have Foley? Of course, they don't go like that. So we actually, put the basic stuff, the big explosions, the big powers, the shouting, Boboiboy kau setiga, stuff like that. But some of the little details we don't put. So in the movie, everything had to be in. All the Foley, all the little footsteps, all the little surface touching and stuff like that. So we had to give as much detail as we could in the audio, and especially even in the music, and then so that the team Hero and the rest can actually make a really, really good mixing when it goes to Dolby format.
They actually prepared layers and layers of sound for us to pick from in the theater, so that we can basically pick and match and match to the picture to give the most effect. So I think it was very, very good direction that they took.
And of course, the other challenge will be on the working level challenge, because we know, Nizam, you are the director of the movie, and Anas, you are the writer, right?
Co-writer.
Co-writer.
Together
Sorry.
with Nizam.
Yeah, I write as well.
Okay, there you go. So, working on a movie, of course, I know you guys know each other, and it's something they've been working on prior to this for the TV series. But again, we are talking about a long format animation here as compared to a TV series. So, what are the challenges you face as, in this case, a director/writer and the co-writer while working on this movie?
Sometimes I like macam orang gila, So I have to direct, I write as well, I edit as well.
And you do voice acting too, right?
Voice acting as well. So and I also manage the company as well. Look at the marketing plan for Boboiboy. So it's very, very difficult in that sense. But it's like a complete experience, because I'm involved from the top to bottom. It's not like I'm only directing. I also do the editing. So of course, as a director, you have a certain criteria to it. You want the movie to be like this, the pacing to be like this, And I think we agree early on, before we even started the movie. Anas told me, if you want to retake, you want to redo, you want to reject, you are free to do so. So the director needs that, And we already completed 95 minutes, I think, of the movie at that time, 95 minutes. And then we divided by reels, or we call parts. There's 5 parts. Each part is about 18 to 20 minutes. So we already finished the 3 parts, the earlier ones. The remaining 2, when I saw the last one, I said, it's not good enough. It's not impactful enough. So can we redo it? So the team said, yes, we can do it, but we need more time. So originally, we should be releasing the movie in December last year. So we have to make some amendments, make it really good. And whoever have watched the movie, you know that Boboiboy Kuasa 5 split to 5 and then the split to 7, right? So we were wondering at that time, the original idea was split to 7 because it's good, to give more to the audience. And then after doing the animation, we thought that it's too much from 5 and then to 7, and then there's a lot of graph going on. So in storytelling, right? So there's a lot of peak. We want to reduce that. But after watching the final, without the pecah 7, so we feel it's not good enough. So we have to add balik, and then we have to restructure everything. That's caused us the delay. And this kind of delay is not, and it's not like like 7 people working on it, right? So it's like 50 40 people. So we have to actually put extra about 1 million to actually do these necessary changes. So this is a kind of decision that I have to make as a director. But of course, as a company owner, you don't want to do that, right? Because it's more money, you have to put more money to it to make sure. And then the timing, we already locked. If you remember, if you go to the supermarket at that time, the Colgate already launched their pinggan mangkuk, like a set of plates, with Boboiboy and everything. So we had to actually negotiate with them again, can we actually prolong the campaign and everything. So it's a very difficult decision. So as a director, as editor, so I think the most difficult decision as a company owner, because you want to save money, you want to make sure it's on time. But as a creative people, as a director, you want to be at the best. Yeah.
And Anas, you want to add on to that as a co-writer?
You were talking about challenges, right? I think, like Nizam said, we changed the 15 minutes, but that's not to say that we actually did a perfect, 0 minutes to 90 minutes, and then just the last bit that we changed. Actually, changes were done organically. We're always changing things as we go along. And working in the series, it was a lot more, a little bit more easy, because there's only a few ways that you can say a line and it doesn't really matter because it's just a television series. But in the movie, emotions and drama was very, very important. As you can see in the movie, Ochabot was being kidnapped, and then Boboiboy had to save Ochabot. And then there was also the crying scene. So anyone who hasn't watched the film yet, you gotta go watch it and cry quietly. Don't tell anyone. But everyone who watched it knew that we were very focused on trying to get that emotion. So that's one of the main challenges for me, together with Nizam, because he was directing it and we were writing it together, and then I was handling the voice acting, and. It was very challenging for us to make sure that does this feel, when you hear it, do you feel the emotion that Boboiboy was really sad for a particular moment? I'm not going to say what. So does that emotion really, really come out? So we had to re-record some things a few times and reanimate it until we got it right. So there's just so many ways to do things. For example, like terbaik, there can be terbaik, or there can be terbaik, or there can be terbaik. So there's so many different ways of saying one dialogue to evoke a different kind of emotion or message. So those are one of the biggest challenges for us in the movie, because we rarely do that kind of level of emotion in the series.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest difference, is that the series less emotion. The movie has a lot of emotion. When we are doing a particular scene, we know how the audience should feel. That's very difficult. It's not about animation. It's not like moving the characters. It's not about the characters talking. We want to make sure that the audience can actually feel the character. So it's very, very difficult, because at that time we had Zootopia a week before, Kung Panda a week after. We are right in the middle, and their budget is 150 million US, 200 million US, and then you look at us, 1.2 million US. 0.5%, only 5%, right? So that's huge difference. So we know that's our challenge, because at the end of the day, if you want to go to watch the movie, right? So you won't go like, okay, this is a local movie. I'm going to watch it because I want to support. Yes, some of you will do that, but most of us won't do that, because at the end of the day, you want to spend your time, your money. You want to make it, worthwhile, basically. So this is what when we design the story, we know we have to play with the emotion part, because if we play with the technical part, people will ask only one thing: asal bulu tak ada? Kung Panda ada bulu, Zootopia ada bulu, Boboiboy tak ada bulu. So this is the kind of question that we had the feedback. So we know we have to go with not the technical stuff. The technical have to be decent in a way, good enough to deliver the story, but we have to play a lot with emotion. That's why the mixing part, the audio part, we have this quality control in a way. One of the things that how we check our movie is that we have to close the visual, only listen to the audio. Is it good enough? Is it attractive enough? Is it the mood is delivered good enough? And then you close the audio, only watch the visual. Is it good enough in terms of animation? So when you combine these two, then only you can evoke the emotion that you wanted. Because how many times you actually cried in cinema, right? So it's just very difficult to do. And how many times that you really root for a character. The last time I watched was Ip Man. I really like Ip Man, Ip Man 2, the best for me. So this kind of emotion is very hard to deliver. So we focus on emotion. Whatever we do in terms of animation, in terms of pacing, in terms of editing, in terms of audio, mixing, we want to deliver that emotion or that message. So that's very, very difficult.
Thank you. Going back to Hero, I mean, you've worked on many projects prior to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what was your biggest challenge actually working on Boboiboy? I'm curious actually, is language a challenge for you when you're working on Boboiboy?
Falling sick, I can remember.
Well, on a personal note, it was about fight against the time, because you have got such a...
Sorry for that.
No, because there's just so much nice sound in there, and such a nice music in there, and then you just engage yourself into the mode where you just start thinking about the quality and how you can deliver the story, how you can maximize that experience. Then you always want to tweak more and more, but then always the clock is ticking and time is running out. So it's always a fight against it. But at the end of it, it was really worth, because what we did in the stage at Magica was really remarkable. That whole experience was really nice.
Because I was very impressed, because when we came over, Ken told us that yeah, Hero's a bit under the weather, but he's still working on it. Chasing the deadline. He was like doing morning to night to midnight, I think. So I came there. The first time I met him, when before the project started, he was like wearing a shirt, proper jeans and all, hair is proper, everything like very handsome like this. But then when I came to Johor, when he was working on it, he was like just in shorts and then slippers, and then also like had the cool fever on top of his head, and so I was like, oh, okay, so very sorry. No, it's okay. So I'm very happy, very satisfied with the quality of work that they did.
And you can see dedication over there. It's not you because post-production is one of the most important part. It's the final part of it, right? So when you see Hero in that condition, so it's like, okay, we're in good hands. It's like 3 a.m, and having a fever, still doing Boboiboy the movie. So that's very satisfying for us. We know that the passion is there. Yeah.
No, since you mentioned post-production, sorry. I know, because I used to be a post-production director, and basically that is the worst place to be, right? Because everybody can delay a day or two, but you don't have that luxury, right?
Yes, even on the final day, Anas wanted to, add some sounds, and wanted to update and everything. But as a creator working in a team, it's always a feeling that you want to help as much as you can. So for me, it was very encouraging and such a fun that people with same dedication is actually in the room, just trying to make it better, heading into the same direction. It was such a fun.
Right now, as we know, the Boboiboy series is still on air, right? I think it'll be ending season 3 in June, right?
Next week is the last episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it will end in the TV in the next 2 weeks.
So, just like to know, how did it work? I know the series itself was a very good boost for the movie.
Yeah.
But was there a reverse effect for the series?
Yeah, definitely. It's 2 ways. The series helped the movie for the people, the audience, to know about the brand, know what Boboiboy is all about. So it does help the movie. But now the movie is helping the series right now, because the series rating is really good. It's getting up, and we have every day about 2.2 million viewers on YouTube only. So this, as a brand, this is very important. It's not about one slot. It's about in 1 week or in 1 day how many people actually watch it. So the brand presence is always there. So that's our strategy. We always say, in 1 week, how many people actually watch Boboiboy. So for example, we combine with TV in Indonesia, in Malaysia, in this region, and then we have YouTube. So we can safely say, maybe 20 million views. Safely say 20 million views. So this is what our partners need to hear. For example, if you go to
I think I need for the audience to actually give the 20 million views a clap.
And this is the thing that when we do animation, we always thought, I want to be berkarya in a way, right? I want to make this art, make a masterpiece. But at the end of the day, you have to make it a masterpiece, your art as well. You need to make it
make money,
make compelling enough for the other people to actually spend for you. So in Malaysia, Boboiboy is did really well in Malaysia, Indonesia, but still we need to go further. You need to go other countries. You need to go into international market. So these are the things that we always constantly. If we want to spend our own money, it will not be enough. Even with the government support, it's not enough to go international market. So we need to partnership. We have a lot of partnership. To partner up with them, you need to have a reason why they need to partner. How can they make money through your brand as well? So that's why brand presence is one of the key components in convincing these kind of partners. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's not an animation business; it's a brand business. You're selling a brand so that people, your partners, want to work with you, because for instance, like Boboiboy, it's all in our Bible. We have it that Boboiboy, it's a protector image. He's a friendship with his or multiracial image. So Boboiboy's protector image always works hand in hand in brands like Colgate, protecting against cavities, or with Lifebuoy, protecting against bacteria or whatever. So all these things we've already designed from the very beginning. That it's not just an animation. It's not just entertainment for kids. It's actually a brand that we can use to sell, so that we can also benefit together with the sponsors and with our other partners.
We know that when you work on a movie, there's this thing called a timeline. You have to meet a timeline because you made your announcement, you made your press release, and of course your booking of the theaters or cinemas and whatnot. Now the thing is, there are a lot of things that because of the timeline, you have no choice but to say, okay, right?
Okay lah.
Okay lah. So my question is, what is the one thing that you wish, if time was permissible, you would like to change on the movie? Maybe we'll start with the man in the middle.
I don't know. For me, perfection. You cannot have perfection in every shot and in the entire film, right? But I wish we can make it better when Boboiboy is using his power, pecah 7 and pecah 5, right? So I think it can be done better in terms of directing. So but it's good enough. But I think it can be done much better. In character introduction, how the motivation, so it can be better, I think. But on our side, actually we had time to change it. If we can delay it, we delayed it one time from December to March, and then in February we said that maybe we can change another week. We have another week, but I said let's not do that. Let's just this is the end line. So whatever mistake we will fix in the next movie. So you cannot, as an artist, of course you have this urge. You want to fix it. You want to make it perfect, but there's nothing perfect. So we told ourselves, let's just look at the audience reaction, and let's see where are the areas that we can improve, so that we can actually improve in the next movie. People talk about Boboiboy movie. Yes, we are happy with Boboiboy movie, but we already forgot about Boboiboy movie. Honestly, we already work on Boboiboy Galaxy right now. We're already working on Makamato. Already working on Stoppy. It's already, when it started airing, for only 2 weeks, we had a fever of Boboiboy movie. And after that, we go back to our drawing board, go back to our team, and what is the next movie that we want to deliver. You guys can enjoy, but we cannot enjoy. We have to move forward to our next animation. Yeah.
And Hero, you have something to add to that? I mean, what do you wish you could have done better if Anas and Nizam was not breathing down your neck?
No, I can just not pick like one thing. Every time I watch it or watch back at the stage, you have got the thousands of minor things that you want to fix every single time. This might actually go slightly off the topic, but the great thing about working with these people is like they have got the balance of like actually working on making it as a business and working it as a a creative stuff. So you also have to have the sense of the balance, whether this is worth and whether this is the right thing for the business. Because you can always make a movie, you can always do something, but spending just your lifetime. But the good thing about this project is that we are not giving it up, but also still having a sense of business, making it work as a work. So.
No, actually, sorry, just going back a little bit on the challenge part, because earlier before we came into the hall, you mentioned something that was quite interesting.
Yes.
I think you'd like to share that? About how the quality of the sound and how it's actually goes to the consumer?
Okay. One of the concerns that I have in this country as a whole, actually, is that, what we did in the stage is just such a remarkable, that whole experience with movie is such a huge. Then I actually watched this movie in 2 or 3 different cinemas, but the way it played, the sound, was absolutely nothing like what we did.
Yeah. If you hear in
the public cinema,
the mixing that in your studio, right? The whole room, as big as this room, will go like bergegar, really like so amazing sound. But if you go to the cinema, they will lower the volume, they will lower the bass, so it's not.
Sure, but to be fair, there's a lot of things behind it, and I do understand, all those differences in the playback conditions and environments. But I think it still happens in Japan, but it's slightly bigger in Malaysia. And I really do feel that there needs to be some kind of standards for the playback, so that that content that these content creators make will reach to the audience just as it was made, to the full potential. Because it's pretty much like you have got this Michelin 3 stars or 4 star, 5 stars chef, cooking this really beautiful food, but it's not served to the table, while it was warm. Maybe it's cold. It might be just ruined with water or something like that. So I think that might be the area that we can probably improve, just as a whole, especially with MDEC doing really well, helping the industry to make such a great content.
All right, thank you.
I think it's another focus. I think.
Now, before we actually come, we're almost towards the end, but before that, just to check with Nizam and of course Anas, you guys did voice acting in the movie itself, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Not to
Yes.
reveal too much, okay? So we've come to a point whereby I would just like to see whether we have any questions from the floor. And okay, we're going to do this actually. We encourage you to shoot questions because why? I'll make Anas and Nizam answer it in the voices that they use in the movie. How about that? Right? Okay. So this one you can't find on the internet, you can't find anywhere. This you can only get it here on the stage. So please, questions. Any questions at all?
Can I ask the first one?
Yes, please.
Can I ask the first one?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Is Boboiboy a character based on Cik Nizam's facial character?
Tidak, wahai anak muda, tidak.
It looks the same though. It looks the same. Yeah, any question from the floor? Anything at all? Yeah, this is one of another historical moment for
Yeah.
Malaysian animation. Yeah, so you should shoot some
There's-
amazing questions. Yes.
Please ask Mr. Anas.
Yeah. State your name, which company or where you're coming from, your question, and who is directed to.
Okay. Hi, Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon. My name is Zulkifli Amiruddin. I come from Inspidia Animation Studio. Okay, I would like to ask to Eddie, Nizam or Anas, do you guys have a plan to extend the series to another, means take another character like Papa Zola the movie or any kind of small series that you can generate from there?
Mungkin tak.
Papa Zola punya suara, the voice is very hard to maintain. So I answer the first line with Papa Zola, but then I answer normal voice lah, right? Okay. So basically, yes, Papa Zola is a very unique character in the sense that when I got the idea for Papa Zola, we discussed with Anas, I imagine not myself doing the voice actor. So I do voice acting, right? So I said, okay, kena cari orang ni, we need to find very suitable character. So it's a borderline character. He can be very, very annoying. He can be very, very lovable at the same time. So this kind of character is very, very hard to do. Same like Adudu, Probe, and Papa Zola. Boba is kind of simple to do because he's a hero. Maybe he's a little bit naive, so it's very easy to do. But Papa Zola is very difficult to do. You do it too much, people will hate him. You do it less than people will feel it's very boring, or what we call in Malaysia lawak hambar. So when we did the movie, why we include Papa Zola is because we want to attract the parents basically. Because it cannot be shown in the poster only Boba and his friends. Then only the parents or the adult won't be don't want to watch that movie. So we want Papa Zola to be in the poster, to play a big role, even though it's just a side character, side story, to be part of the movie. So that's why it's designed to attract the family. So that's why Papa Zola comes in, with Adudu and Probe.
But we also have a spin-off and not in a...
Hey, sorry, Adudu lah.
Don't do that! We do. We do have a spin-off. I can't do it for long. But it's not in a media format. Actually, do you know the second most popular character in the whole Boboiboy series? Can anyone answer? The second most popular. Of course, number one, Boboiboy lah. The second most popular character. Gopal? No, salah. Bro. Yaya is the second most popular character in the whole franchise. And that is why we have a very balanced 50-50 girls and boys audience group. So even though it's a boy show, but it's Yaya is the second most popular character. So we actually do have a spin-off, but in the form of one is Apa Kata Yaya. It's like short PSAs on YouTube, but the other one is in the form of a book, in a novel and comic. And that's why we partner with PTS to do a series of books called Detective Yaya, and it's all about Yaya learning about, finding out about a case in school, and then she goes on solving the mystery. So because of the popularity of the character, we do make a spin-off on that. So if we have another character that's popular enough but can stand on its own, then we'll
I think
definitely
Papa
make one.
Zola, people request a lot of Papa Zola the movie because Papa did really well in the series, right? Yeah. So Hero will agree to
was
that.
like watching Papa
But-
Zola saying something in Malay, and do you understand? No, but it's funny.
But for as a creative person, as a director, I know I'm just a prediction. If I make Papa Zola the movie, if we make Papa Zola the movie, people will be annoyed. You cannot have Papa Zola too much, okay? Just the right dose is good for you. You cannot have too much. You cannot have the entire movie. In my personal opinion, like Minions, I love Minions in Despicable Me, but not the movie of Minions. It's too much for me because then some characters are designed to be a very strong side character. Even though it's popular, you cannot make it a center character. So this is what we know our limitation. We know the character. We design the character to be in certain way. So that's why I don't think you will see Papa Zola movie. Maybe a special episode Papa Zola in the Boboiboy Galaxy, maybe, but not the movie. I think it's too risky.
Too risky. Thank you.
Can we have Vernon in the voice character as well?
The only voice I do is my own. So, any more questions, please, from the floor?
Any more
Yes,
questions
please.
on the floor? New character.
Hello guys. First, I would like to congratulate.
Thank you.
Very good movie.
Terima kasih, bang.
I just want to ask. Basically, Hero just told us about the issue about the sounds. Will it be good in DVD? Because I just watched it a few times already in movies in cinemas. But now in DVD will be full Dolby sounds.
For the DVD is in stereo. We're working, if we can actually work on a Blu-ray at high quality and 5.1 audio. But for now, we're still working on that. So the DVD is in stereo. We had to mix down everything down.
Awesome. I'm waiting for that.
Thank you.
Any more? I think we have like 5 minutes more. Yes. Introduce yourself, yeah?
Hi guys, my name is Jim. First of all, actually, congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
Especially, I really enjoy Boboiboy very much, especially the sound and the animation and everything. I think you guys make Malaysian very proud, actually. Very good.
Terima kasih. Wahai anak muda.
Okay, may I know, I have 3 questions. Okay. First is how you inspire this Boboiboy story. Where's the idea actually came from? And then second question is, what's the challenge as an animation director in feature film, day-to-day basis, the challenge? Okay, and then the third one will be, what do you think about our animation industry for the future?
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Based
I'll
on
answer
what?
the first
Abang
one.
jawab dulu bang. Soalan nombor 1.
Terima kasih. Saya lah Kokochi.
So siapa yang tak tahu, Anas actually voiced 7 characters. Okay, so there's Probe, Adudu,
Hai, apa khabar?
Tuaba,
Apa khabar?
Bapak Gopal, Pacu Kumar,
Deh, jangan cakap lah.
Cichiko, Commander Kokochi.
Ya, Commander Kokochi.
Yeah. And ada raksasa tidur, so 7 characters in total.
Some of the harder ones. Where do we get the idea to make Boboiboy? When we first started in Monster Studios, we've always wanted to create something that Malaysian kids can be proud of. So at that time, we realized that there were no superhero for kids. Sure, we had superheroes like Batman, Superman, and all the rest, and they're all adults. They're all, at the youngest is like teenagers. The other ones that we had were like Teen Titans. So we never had a show for kids specifically, and they're superheroes. So we thought of that, and we realized that we wanted to make a superhero for kids. So even Pluang Man is an adult. So we wanted to create one just for kids, and that is why we got the idea. And the idea for why the name Boboiboy is specifically because one, Malaysians like to call their kids, their boys, bobois. So he's like a boboiboy, yeah? But then specifically because he can split to three. So this is one of the earliest ideas, is that one is bo, one is boy, and then one is boy. But that didn't work out. So his name stuck because it was very, very unique, and people remembered the name quite well, especially when we had a very engaging and memorable theme song. But I think when it comes to the story itself, I think we draw from a lot of our ideas watching cartoons and watching shows when we were kids. We were big fans of stuff like Gaban or Kamen Rider, Doraemon, whatever.
Dragon
all those
Ball.
things, yeah, all those Dragon Ball, yeah. Those shows that make you feel that, hey, I can be a superhero too. Like Dragon Ball resonated very well with us because we always loved Goku when he was a kid and he was fighting all these big things. So kids love that. Being a kid, small but also very powerful and can take on big responsibilities. So that is one of the main ideas that we got.
Second question, the challenge as a director of animation movie. I think the biggest challenge for me, even though I'm I write, I do the writing as well, but I cannot draw that well. So when you want to communicate visually, so this shot is going to be like this. So when at the drawing board, I told the team, this is how it's going to look like. So the team will be like, apa benda ni? So the angle is not there, the perspective is not. Nothing is there. So it's very hard for me to communicate my ideas. So that's why, but the way we work around that is that we have, but like Anas, right? I've been working with Anas more than 10 years right now. And our animation director, Zubey. So we're working with him another 10 years. So this is our communication. So we usually use reference, So I want this shot to be like One Punch Man. One of the shot, the last shot, like the when Solar Power, Boboiboy Solar, shoots, that is a reference in timing, is from One Punch Man. So we have a lot of reference. So in terms of ideation, we watch a lot of movies, we watch a lot of anime, and not only that, I personally watch even crime documentary, documentary yang tak ada kaitan langsung. Because for me, it's very important to have a library, because you cannot only watch what you like. For example, if you like this kind of show, you only watch that. Just because you watch making animation, you watch all anime. You have to watch other things. You have to watch National Geographic. You have to watch, other stuff, even K-pop, Running Man, anything. Just watch it. I think that's the biggest advantage of Malaysian, because we consume a lot of media. Because we consume Hollywood, Bollywood, semua wood kita ambil, J-wood, J-pop, K-pop, Venezuela, telenovela, everything. So you imagine that, right? But we've been consuming a lot of media. This is the time that we get this knowledge, make our own recipe out of this knowledge. So it's very important. Not so much on any other country, Some country only watch a certain type of media, or maybe one or two, but we watch everything. Bollywood, Hollywood, anything, So I think this is time that, for example, Papa Zola, one of the funny part of Papa Zola, some part he will be like a Sivaji, if even Gopal, right? So we actually took of reference, like Papa Zola, some part we actually refer to Dr. Satan from Dragon Ball, right? So this actually we refer a lot in terms of character journey, Wow, sebenarnya Mutai Naga ada 7 biji sahaja, So these are the things that when we look at the storyline, why they actually make there's only 7 Dragon Balls is to limit the story, is to give the character goals. When you design your own story, you have to. When I first read about Dragon Ball or watch Dragon Ball anime, so you just enjoy the story. When you develop your own content and you watch it again, then you feel like, this is the reason why it has only 7, because there's a limitation to it. If not, the story will go on and go on. And one of the problem of Goku is that he has to upgrade. At sampai level 4 rambut panjang, right? And then sampai level 5 dah keluar ekor, dah rambut dah no longer yellow. So it's like, okay, we love Dragon Ball, but we don't want to be stuck at Boboiboy becoming more and more powerful. So we start to introduce limitation in Boboiboy Galaxy. So these are the things that we got the ideas. In terms of directing, I have to refer a lot, and sometimes even though I've been in industry I think about 10, 12 years right now, but we are still lacking in terms of, I'm still lacking in terms of directing an animation, action, anime kind of film movie, right? So I have to refer a lot, I have to discuss a lot, I have to do referencing a lot. So it's not like a normal movie. So if you watch Boboiboy the movie, you can feel the anime, feel to it. I mean, Hiro also tell me that when he watched Boboiboy the movie, he can see a lot of Dragon Ball influence in the movie.
Yeah, actually, I forgot to ask Hiro, do you do any voices?
I don't do any voice.
No,
Not yet.
not yet. Did we answer all your three questions?
We have one more question from this person, a stranger. I don't know where is he from, but he's gonna ask.
Okay, so you guys box office berapa?
Box office Malaysia 16, Indonesia 2 million plus, so total 18. But I think the MC just now 20 if total sales. Kita ada like sales on TV, you know, other stuff. So 20 is
Okay, so the question is, very short question. Honestly, what was your target? Honestly, honest, like memang like at that time was like kalau dapat ni pun dah okay dah. Or memang you targeted 20.
Yeah,
8 or 10 will be good enough.
Yeah, 8 or 10.
8 or 10.
Of course, we don't tell that to people.
Now you know.
We
The
gotta be
press asks
ambitious.
us, you know, the press asks us, you know, what's the target collection? I said, okay, now the journey, I think at that time, almost 16, at that, 15 or 16, and then Police Evo 18, I said 25. But I know it's quite impossible, you know, but for us, we just targeted about 10 million in Malaysia, maybe another 1 to 2 million in Indonesia. So that's our target. But for us, it's important that we have to be realistic in a way, because it's only the first movie. We will make another movie, inshallah, and we want to penetrate. Now it's only big in Malaysia, Indonesia. We want to go into more territories for the second and third movie, hopefully.
This is a little bit.
Tak ada satu lagi tu.
Sorry.
So kita ada K-pop, J-pop. After this kita melepop.
No, actually, I wanted to do this. Since you're holding the microphone right now, I mean, not many people in the room know this. Alright? So he also had a voice part in the movie.
What's Suyan's character?
You got to do this. Come on.
Which one is that? Which one is that?
Ingatlah awak.
Macam mana ni?
Ya.
Coach.
Okay, awak kena ikut cara saya cakap ya.
Okay, baik. Saya cuba.
Tahniah Ochobot.
Tanya Ochobot.
So he is actually the voice of the lab Sphero-Kuasa, the one that gave Ochobot the upgrade. Ochobot, Ochobot telah upgrade complete.
Upgrade complete. Yes. I'm doing English now. So you can pay me anytime. For them, I did it for free, but everybody else have to pay.
Okay. Thanks, Asnul. That's my boss, by the way. So, okay, I think we are right at the end now. Just to end this session, I'd just like for all three of our panelists here just to share a little bit just on this budding, our group of attendees here, the ones who are choosing the path of the entertainment industry, the creative content industry, animation, or in the entertainment movie industry. Maybe you can share a little bit from your experiences on what are the things they should be looking at, how they should be going about it, not only in terms of a technical point of view, in terms of in the personal or the individual soft skills. Maybe you would like to share that?
If you're in animation, watch a lot of cartoons. I know a lot of people, students and fresh graduates who come and try to work with us, but they say, oh, I love Tarantino, I love, all the artsy-fartsy films, and I watch a lot of anime. But, animation at the end of the day is still for kids. So you gotta look back at all the stuff that you enjoyed when you were kids, Looney Tunes or whatever, all those things. There's actually a lot of people researching, doing thesis about why stuff like Wile E. Coyote is so addictive to watch, even though it's the same thing over and over again. So that's actually very, very important for you to watch cartoons as well, because you're doing animation for kids, so it's cartoons. So don't ever forget about that.
For me personally, when we started, when I joined this industry, my vision was I want to do an animation or character that reflects our culture, reflects our people, but can go international. So I think we still have a long way to go. Yes, we are popular around this region, but we hope that we can work with Imagika to go further. We also have partner with Takara Tomy to make the toys, so you can please buy the toys when it will come out in, I think, at the end of the year. So Boboiboy Galaxy, we also have like vehicles, we have figurines, so we have that as well. So hopefully we can go into international market. But my advice, this is maybe relatable to the newcomers, new companies. You have to do a lot of research, basically. Sometimes, I think I just want to enhance what Anna said. If you make animation, you making for siapa, who's your target audience, So there's three components. What we believe is who's your target audience, what your content, and how you deliver it. If you know your target audience, you know what kind of content will be suitable for them. You know how to deliver it to them. So Boboiboy, even though it's a family experience, but it's really targeted to those kids 7 to 12. So you need to do a lot of research. You need to build up your library. Don't only be too artistic. That's the easiest escape. When people don't understand your work, oh, this is to art for you. And only a few bunch, being you and your parents and maybe your friends, can actually understand your art. So you have to actually go out there, experience more, experimental more, do a lot of research. That's very, very important. And for those who want to make a company, animation company, in Malaysia we had this problem. We always say that if you want to go into animation industry, you have to make your own company, right? So you have this funding, which is good. But I think you need to learn from others as well. And then you need to know making animation and making animation business for animation business is totally different thing. You need to learn about, that's why you have this conference. Yeah? You have licensing, merchandising, we have pipeline. Maybe, we have to work, like right now we have Kadogawa, Gempak, right? So these big brands, maybe we can work with them to bring your IP out. Not only you have to do it on your own. 5 years ago, 7 years ago, when we were first started, there's nobody. In a way. So we actually had to start on our own. Now we are here. But I think to the newcomers, you can actually work with us. Maybe we can work with Kadokawa. Maybe this channel now. I still remember when I want to meet with Disney, it's very difficult. Disney only gave us, 5 minutes at that time? 5 minutes, at MIPCOM. But now, Disney is here, Cartoon Network here. MNC TV here, so these are the things that you need to take advantage of. But before that, make sure that you do a lot of research, and be prepared. Ask yourself whether or not you want to make animation or you want to make business of animation. So two different stories altogether. Yeah.
And Hiro, from your perspective?
Yeah, I think Nizam just made a very, very good point of saying you need to have a good balance of the business side and also artistic side. Again, if you want to be an individual creator, or if you really want to be a content creator, it's a totally different story. And on individual level, I would say it's a dedication and enthusiasm, because I think it's pretty much the case where people just have to make a lot of sacrifice if you really want to make a success in industry where there's so much people who want to get involved, but it's really hard to make a business or make a living out of it. So that's the reason why you need to be prepared to make certain sacrifice in your life if you really want to achieve something.
Thank you very much. One last thing before we close, because I found out while chatting with this gentleman earlier during lunch that they're making a movie. Of course, they have to look at the terms of commercialization, their timeline, their commitments and all that. But I also found out they actually had a mission for the movie. Maybe Nizam, you'd like to share, and maybe you can share with us whether that mission was actually achieved or not in the movie?
Not many know that our mission for the movie, not to say the real mission, but the real mission, we want to create entertainment for the family. Right now, nowadays, barely that we can actually watch together with your kids. Which I have myself, I had the three kids, right? So there's not many animation or show that you can actually watch as a family. So when we design Boboiboy, then we said, it's going to be a family show. It's going to be like the parents going to enjoy it, the father, bapa yang gelak lebih, anak-anak macam kenapa bapak dia gelak, so the parents will laugh, and then the kids will enjoy Boboiboy transforming, splitting into 3, 5 and 7, and then Boboiboy solar. So we actually designed this movie to be an entertainment for family. So that's our main target, and I think we managed to do that.
Yeah, it was very humbling to see all the people sharing photos online, showing people bringing their kids for the first time to watch a movie together. So we are very happy and very humbled by that.
In the TV series, we got the data. 60% that watch Boboiboy is 14 and above, meaning adult to like 35, 40 years old. So that's only data for us. It's not tangible. You cannot see it. Maybe you go to one of your relative house, you can see, okay, they're watching Boboiboy together, the series, right? But we never seen the actual, like in few hundred thousand. total numbers that people watch Boboiboy movie, 1.5 million people actually watch Boboiboy movie. And we go to every cinema, we can see people bringing their kids, bringing their friends. So that's actually value to us, you know. Yes, we make 60 million ringgit in Malaysia, but after you cut the tax, you cut the cinema distribution, it's not that much, you know. But it's still, we still untung lah in a way, right? But it's more satisfying for us when we can see that people actually watch the movie together and having a good time together, you know. Imagine after watching the movie, then the parents, the kids will ask the parents, oh, you know, have you watched, nampak tak tadi 07, nampak tak Boboiboy? So they have something to talk about in common, you know. So this is the thing that we want to bring to the family. That's very, very important for us. It's not, if not, you will be lost in animation because you will make Boboiboy more powerful. It's all about him. It's about money. It's about licensing, merchandising. But it's more than that. It's to create our own hero. We want to bring our content international market, our own culture, our own value, and then we also want to make sure that we entertain the family and bring values to it.
All right. So. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, you want to add something?
Thank you for everyone who watched the Boboiboy movie and supported. Terima kasih banyak-banyak.
So again, thank you very much, esteemed panelists or speakers, and for the audience, thank you for attending the session. A round of applause for yourself and of course the speakers here. Thank you very much.